Hi everyone, welcome back. I thought I'd do a quick knit with me video. I tried a stitch with me video a couple of days ago and the camera angle wasn't right and the project kept shaking on my Lowry stand. So I thought I'd have another go, another test dance, see if I can get it right with some knitting, because I've got knitters out there. So I am working on this sock. I'm using the Litmus Cowl set by Pixie Yarns. I showed it off in my last podcast, and I've started a pair of socks. So I've done one sock completely. So this is sock number 1. That one's finished and off the needles. And as you can see, I'm doing a 2x2 rib cuff. Then I've worked the leg of the sock down to the heel, flap and gusset, and then down to the toe, and I'm doing a rounded toe, and I've done the Kitchener bind off. So that's what I'm aiming towards. So I've got this far because I work my socks in tandem usually, so I've done all of that for this one down to here. I've done down to here. I've got about an inch more knitting to do on this. Let me just see before I get to start doing the decreases for the toe. I see, so I'm using my sock ruler. This needs to be 9 inches before I start doing the decreases. So yeah, I've got a little way to go. I've got to get it down to here, and then I can start doing the decreases for the toe. So I thought I'd have a quick go at this while I talk to you. So I'm using Chowgoo 9-inch circulars. I love these little stitch rings, stitch marker rings. They're very handy. I've only got that on one side to divide the top from the bottom. So I'm just going to continue working in the round, plain stocking stitch. And as you guys, if you're knitters, you'll know that when you're working in the round, you can just do knit stitch consistently and it produces a stocking stitch look. So that's all I'm doing. So I am using 9-inch Chowgoo circulars, which are really tiny. That's how small they are, and this is how I knit. And I'm a thrower, as you can see. When I'm doing my socks, when I'm using 9-inch circulars, I tend to knit, use the throwing method. When I'm knitting bigger projects with bigger needles, I tend to do the flick method. So this is my throwing for my sock knitting. So I'm just going to work around and around and around until I get down to 9 inches and can start doing the decreases. So what's been happening here in the UK? It's been quite a strange week this week, I guess. We've all heard that the Omicron variant is spreading like wildfire over here in the UK. It's very concerning. Government is urging people to get their boosters, and it's just very frightening. We've seen lots of people queuing up outside hospitals and other venues to try and get their boosters urgently now, because the government has made urgent announcements. The latest news I've heard is that the government is France has now decided to close their borders from this weekend to stop UK British travellers from travelling to their country. So I think it said something like, unless they are there for a good reason, unless they're travelling for a good reason, they won't be allowed entry into France. That's my understanding. So yeah, it's all kind of kicking off here in the UK. It's a bit worrying, as you can imagine. The kids are still at school. There's a lot of absences at school. My daughter's school has only recently, in the last week or so, they've started to see staff shortages. So my daughter hasn't been able to do, for example, extracurricular clubs because of staff shortages. There obviously have been children that have been off sick, but she hasn't really mentioned many of those that she knows of that have been ill so far, thankfully. But it is a very worrying situation. But I'm trying to distract myself with my crafting, and I have been doing a lot of, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here actually, I've been doing a lot of knitting on this because of the weather. The weather over here is very, it's dry, it's been dry for a couple of days, but it's very dark, so I've not been as inclined to want to do my stitching because the light has not been very good. Although I did recently order, in the last couple of days, I ordered a what's it called, a magnifier with a light, so hopefully I will be able to make use of that, and I will have some what was I going to say? If I can make use of the magnifier and the light, then I will have some more progress to show. I bought it initially so that I could pay more attention to my HADE, my Heaven and Earth Designs project, and I thought I'd like to do that, use the magnifier to see if it makes any difference, and it spurs me on to work a bit more on that piece. Life is an Open Book London, so yeah, so that's where my mind is going. I was also thinking this week that it would be nice to do more knitting. Usually I would have at least done a jumper, I think, or a cardigan or something, but I've just not been very motivated to knit anything other than socks this time round. And I have looked through my wardrobe of knitted items, jumpers and stuff, and I do know that I do need to make some new stuff. And one thing that I keep looking at, I made a jumper, I can't remember what it's called, I think it was Edgartown Light, something like that, Edgartown Light jumper I think it is. I'll correct that on screen if I can find it in my Ravelry notes. I made a jumper using Craft House Magic yarn, lovely blue and white and kind of beigey colour speckled yarn, and I don't reach for the jumper as much now. So what I've been thinking about doing is totally frogging the jumper, reclaiming the yarn and making something that I actually will wear more, because I feel like it's a little bit stretched out and the sleeves are the right length, but the body is not long enough for me. So that's the reason, I think the main reason I don't wear it so much is because the neck is a bit too low for me, so I always have to wear something underneath it, and because I have to wear something underneath it, it has to go with the look of the jumper, and I don't always have the right thing to hand. And also the length of it, it comes up to my waist, and I like to have my jumpers a little bit below my bottom. I like them to be below my bottom, and that's just my comfort area. So that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But I like them to sit comfortably, the hem of the jumper to sit comfortably below my bottom. So so yeah, I don't wear it as much as I would ordinarily wear it. So yeah, I'm thinking about reclaiming the yarn and finding a pattern that I would like to try and having a go at that. And it's a DK weight yarn, so it will be a quick knit, but I just haven't got myself into gear to knit any bigger type items. Maybe after Christmas I will be a bit more inspired, hopefully. So yeah, I'm not sure, because there are things that I do feel like I need a few more jumpers or cardigans in my wardrobe, because when I go to reach for something to wear, currently I'm reaching for cardigans rather than jumpers, because I like something that's open, because I get warm and then I have to take the cardigan off, and then I get cold again, and then I have to put the cardigan on. So throughout the day, I might get warm depending on what I'm doing. If I'm sitting still, I'll get a bit cold. If I'm moving around a lot, I'll get a bit warm. So my cardigans or hoodies, they tend to come off and be thrown on and off throughout the day. So with a jumper, it's not as easy. And it does kind of mess up my hair. So I tend to reach for open fronted items a bit more. So if you guys have any recommendations for cardigans, I guess, for using double knit yarn, I'd like those suggestions. It would be great. I'd have a look at those and see if any of those take my fancy, and see if I can reclaim that yarn. So yeah, that is it. So I think, how long have I been? I've been talking for about 10 minutes. Oh my goodness. Hopefully this has been steady enough for you and it's not, is it too close to the camera? I hope not. But I'm going to try and upload this video and see how it goes. If you guys like this kind of knit with me style video, let me know. I always like being able to see how people knit, what their methods are. It's just interesting. I probably wouldn't want to look at the same thing over and over again, but once in a blue moon it'd be nice to see how somebody's knitting something up. So let's see how far I've got. Look at that. Since I've been talking to you, I have got down, you could see it there, I've got down to there. I'm nearly there. Just need a couple more rounds and then I'll be at the 9 mark, because that's where the heel is. Maybe if I pull on it a bit, it's got a bit of stretch, and I can start doing the decreases. So if you guys are interested in this type of video, if you've enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments section below the video. And these ones seem to be quite easy because I don't have to have a stand to hold the project, obviously, because it's all on the needles, and the camera seems to be quite steady this time. Although actually it wasn't the camera that was unsteady last time, it was the piece that I was working on in the Lowry stand was not. That is the Lowry stand that was kind of wobbling a bit, so I'm not quite sure. I have to figure out how to work that out. But if you enjoy this style for a knit with me video, if you're a knitter or you just like to see knitting and you enjoy this video, give me some thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below the video, and I will see if I can do more of these. I might have a go at doing a crochet one as well, just to see. I just think it's a little bit of fun, talking and knitting, or talking and crocheting, or whatever, just sharing with you how I do things, what my setup is. So that is it. I'm going to leave it here, and then I'm going to start working on the decreases for the toe, because I need to get these onto DPNs, double pointed needles, and then I start working my decreases, because I'm nearly there. And then that'll be another pair of socks off the needle, ready to be wrapped up for Christmas. So it actually looks, let's see, yeah, I've got a little bit to go, haven't I? Might as well knit a few more rounds of that. But yeah, that's where I'm leaving you. That was a quick chat, quick update. Hope you've enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.